Welcome to iLecture Online. In this video, we're going to talk about the meaning of the level of significance. So, how is that defined? Well, the definition reads as follows. It's the probability that we make the error to reject the null hypothesis, and of course, this is how we symbolize the null hypothesis, when the null hypothesis is actually true. So if the null hypothesis is true and we reject it, well, that's an error. Well, the level of significance is the probability that we'll make that error. Of course, we don't want to make that error, so we should make the level of significance a small quantity, a small probability. But that comes at an expense. I will explain that later. Also notice that the symbol we use for the level of significance is the Greek letter alpha. Now, notice here that the level of significance is set specifically. So it's a number that we set ahead of time for a specific experiment or problem. So we set the value of the level of significance specifically to either increase or decrease the probability to reject the null hypothesis in error. So of course, we don't want to make that error. So again, we would like to tend to a small number, but the smaller you make it, comes with expense. Again, we'll see it in a moment. So the idea is that when we make the level of significance small, it's less likely to incorrectly reject the null hypothesis. And if we make it large, it's more likely to incorrect the null hypothesis or incorrectly reject the null hypothesis. So here graphically, I've tried to illustrate that. So let's say that the big graph here is the normal distribution of the population. Now, if the population is large, we can go ahead and test every single item in the population, so we have to take a sample of the population. So here, this represents the normal distribution of the sample. Now, it turns out that typically, the mean of the sample will not be exactly the same as the mean of the population. That's not likely to happen. There will be some difference. And so notice that the red region right here, the lined region, represents that if the mean of the sample falls in this region, we think that the properties of the sample are different from the properties of the population. Or in other words, we can say that the null hypothesis is probably wrong. So this large population distribution kind of represents the null hypothesis. We want to see if the null hypothesis is true or not. And if this mean is far enough removed from the mean of the population, we could probably conclude that the null hypothesis is wrong, so we reject it. But notice, the larger you make this region, the closer this edge here comes to the mean of the population, the more likely the sample will fall into that region, and therefore we'll reject it. And it's therefore more likely the closer this is, we probably shouldn't reject it, but we'll reject it anyway if this region is too large. So it's better to make it small. Now notice that the very same sample will not fall in this region right here. So therefore, we're not going to reject the null hypothesis, and therefore we expect, since it didn't fall in that region, that the null hypothesis is correct, it's true, and therefore we didn't make the mistake. So we're less likely to make a mistake. It requires more specific data, more information, a better proof, so to speak, that indeed we are justified in rejecting the null hypothesis. And we can force that by making the level of significance a smaller quantity, like we did there. It'd be harder to get that sample to be in that region to see that it's separate or different from the overall population, which represents the null hypothesis. So what's the cost? Well, if you make this really small, you may have a sample that kind of shows that it's different from the null hypothesis, therefore you should reject it, but you're not going to because you didn't quite get there. So now you're more likely to not reject the null hypothesis when you should. So it's a trade-off. And therefore, where you set that level of significance depends upon the situation. If making the mistake of rejecting the null hypothesis when you shouldn't is more important, then of course you're going to make it harder to reject the null hypothesis. But if it's not that big of a deal to reject the null hypothesis when the null hypothesis is actually true, then maybe you can have the luxury of making this region a little bit larger and more quickly determine if your sample represents a different representation than the whole population itself. So it's kind of a trade-off. Do you really think it's important that you don't reject the null hypothesis when it's actually true? If that's really important, you make that region really small. If it's not as important, if you want to see if the sample gives you a pretty good idea that it's different, and therefore the null hypothesis is most likely, probably, can be rejected, you're not sure, you don't have that level of significance, but hey, I think we can go ahead and reject it anyway. If you do it erroneously, it's not that big of a deal. Something's not going to fall out of the sky, for example. So that's what we mean by the level of significance. We want to see how sure we are that we can reject the null hypothesis. We don't want to make that mistake. So again, go back to the definition. The probability that we make the error to reject the null hypothesis when the null hypothesis is true is what we call the level of significance. Hopefully that clears it up for you. Did it clear it up for you?
Assuming I'm listening.